Mm-hmm. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And
early.
welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Mossberg. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
I was early on that intro. Not the first time I've been early to something, so it is what it is.
Yes, it is. With us today, our good friend from the big city of New York City, Mr. Andrew Talamo. Andrew, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine, gentlemen. How are you guys enjoying your lovely day in Knoxville, Texas?
Well, it's going to be 100 degrees or pretty close to it, so, you know, we're just ready for those days to be behind us.
And using that word gentleman really loosely.
You guys are a top shelf act. I got to say, we came out there a couple of years ago, and we look to come back every year. We look forward to it now. It's you guys are like extended family.
We can't wait for you to get here. And are you driving or flying this year?
We are flying this year. We'll be, I think, we're flying Houston, and then we're going to drive in. But I will have some goodies for you. I'm going to pack some goodies I'll take on my carry-on. I know you're looking for those cheesesteak egg rolls and some other goodies.
Them suckers are the best in the world. For everybody who don't know, name the name of the restaurant, the pizza place.
It's Patsy's Pizzeria of Queens. There are a couple of them, but the one that I took you and your wife to was Patsy's Pizzeria of Queens.
Oh, it was so
good. Very good pizza, but their Philly cheesesteaks are that's their number one thing.
Oh, them cheesesteak egg rolls, the best I've ever had in my life. I love New York. I love that. It's just a great area. So I talk to you a lot. We talk a lot during the rest of the year. So the election is big up there. Are you seeing more and more Trump signs and stuff in New York than you did before?
I'm seeing a lot more, especially where I live, Nassau County. It's dominated by Republicans, but there's a lot of Trump signs. I was up in Pennsylvania this weekend, all over the place. I think we saw one Harris sign out of all the signs that we saw up there. It was surprising, too, for the area that we were in.
Nassau
County. Yep. It's
Nassau County.
Yep.
Yeah, Nassau County. That's the county I live in. We're in New York State. I live in Nassau County.
Now, what is Nassau like?
What do you mean?
Is it trashy?
No.
Very upscale?
Working people.
Well, a lot of blue collar.
Oh, okay.
People that work, pay taxes, and are sick of the bullshit that we're sick of here.
That's why the Trump signs are there.
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, they have jobs.
Yeah.
And that's the whole deal. People with jobs. You know, we went to. It's funny you said we use in Pennsylvania. You saw one Kamala sign. We went to North Dakota or something the year of 2016 when Trump ran against Hillary. Mm-hmm. And the whole way, now granted we were in farm country and we didn't go in a lot of big cities, but we only saw one maybe Hillary sign the whole way.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember noticing that, and that was a long time ago. So that's a good sign in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is a must-win for us. Pennsylvania,
yes.
Michigan, Wisconsin. If we can win 2 of those 3, we win the election, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to win. I told Andy I thought Trump got beat on the debate. I've caught so much bullshit for that, boy. People have been on my ass for that, but that's the way I saw it. But I said I still think Trump wins, and I still do. So what are we hunting next? You're going to come down here and shoot deer. Y'all should have a really good deer season here again this year. We had such a wet spring and summer, seeing big horns this year. And I just picked up a new ranch, and I've got a couple more bucks just last week picked up a new spot. So I've got 2 more deer hunts available if anybody's interested. But what'd you do with the deer you killed? Because you cook all kinds of different ways. What's your favorite meal you made?
I make my venison lasagna, which happens to be like a little signature thing. I don't know if you saw on the Instagram,
yes.
We just did tomatoes. We made tomato season. So we jar roll our own tomatoes. We picked up like 1,500 pounds of tomatoes from the local farm. We cook them down, run them through a milling machine, and then we jar them, seal them, and this way they last all season. So when we make our jarred sauce, that's when I usually make like our signature venison lasagna. So it's like a 2-day process. I roast it in the oven with the sauce. Usually I use the loins or some type of stew meat, and I shred it. And then, you layer it with your lasagna noodles, some fresh ricotta cheese, some mozzarella, and some other little seasonings that my mother taught me. I'd be happy to make it for you guys, one day. It's a labor of love, and that's one of the things we like to make. But that's what I did when I hooked up with your with the deer that I got from you last year. And then the speckles, we've been grilling them. My last pack I took out the other day. I tagged both you guys. I put a 4-day dry age on it, and tomorrow's Wednesday, so tomorrow I got my son and some of his friends coming over, and we have our like little in-house game dinner, and then we plan the season, exactly what we're going to do, and how we're going to attack the upcoming season. And the meals are most important to these guys, more than the shotgun shells.
Right.
Now, I got a question with you. When you make your lasagna and you put lasagna, do you make your own lasagna noodles or do you buy those?
I buy them. I mean, we can make them, but when you're making how we making them, I'm making 4 or 5 pans at a time. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind making fresh pasta, but to make it to that level, you need like a bedspread of it.
I don't think I've ever had lasagna with homemade pasta.
There can't be that much difference in the noodles.
I've had some homemade pasta that was damn good. That was the noodles did make a difference, but not much.
So let me see what I can take on as carry on, and maybe I'll make a roll of it a couple days before. I'll vacuum seal it. I'll put it in my I have a cooler backpack, and we'll make you guys something. We'll make like I don't know if the gentleman's coming that has the organic beef. We can make a real simple like a ragu, and we can make like a broad noodle, like a pappardelle, just a little simple dish we can make if you want. Not go too much, crazy time, take everybody's time, but we can make a nice little simple dish I think you'd be pleased with.
Yeah, but can you taste the difference between fresh pasta made and store-bought pasta? Because Andy said he didn't want to think there's much difference. There's a huge difference, isn't there?
There's a big difference, and it's all in the way it cooks. I mean, it's a little more smoother on when you bite into it.
Huh? Because my wife, she'll make
Egg
noodles, and like you said, though, it takes a bed. Her mother and they'll get like a whole, like you said, bed sheet, stretch that thing out, and then put all the noodles on the bed sheet and let it all dry out. But it's a 3-day process.
It's a lot. It's a labor of love. When it comes to cooking, scratch cooking, it's definitely a labor of love. I mean, we started this several years back, and it mainly was just to keep up family traditions and family recipes. And, here we are today, a couple years later, and, little following. And I teach cooking classes locally at one of the local high schools over here for the adult ed program. And, scratch made pasta happens to be one of my pizza class, so one of my 2 popular classes that I teach.
How are you baking your pizza? Do you do the wood fire pizza?
So, home, I have a Traeger.
Okay.
I'll crank the Traeger up to like 400 or 500 degrees. I have fire bricks, and I'll let the fire bricks get nice and hot, and I'll throw my pizza right on there. If it's, I don't feel like going outside, I put them in the regular oven. You got to have high heat, 450, 500 degrees.
So what are the fire bricks? Where did you get those at? Because I've also got a Traeger.
Amazon.
Just type in fire bricks, and where do you put them?
So you lay them on the grate, and you put the pizza on that.
Okay.
That's what you want the pizza to cook on, because if you put it directly on a grill, it's going to burn.
Right. Okay.
And if you put it on there, it'll be like New York style pizza. You'll get that nice little toasty crust on the bottom.
Okay.
I'll send you the link, Andy, when we get off. I'll send you a text message for the ones that I got.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been wanting to do pizza on the Traeger, but I'm kind of like you. I didn't know where to put it, and I didn't know if they sold like a certain like pan or stone that you would put in the Traeger. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in this, because I've been looking at the Unis, the pizza ovens. But if I can just do it on the Traeger, then I'll save a couple $100 and just do it on what I've already got.
Exactly. That's how I feel. I had bought pizza stones in the past, and you get them cranking hot, and then when they cool down, they don't cool down right. They crack.
Oh.
So with the pizza stones or the pizza bricks, they either come 4x4 or they come like a brick size. And this way, when they're not going to crack, when they're done, they cool down, you could stack them up and you put them, you put them away until you need them the next time.
Well, I wish you'd buy one of those, Andy.
I'm going to.
I do love me
It's going to happen.
some good old pie.
As soon as I get it from the gentleman here, I'm going to place an order.
People ask me all the time. They're like, "Why do you love going to the Northeast?" Well, I love it's beautiful and the food. Now, their food is not. I love the Italian food up there. I don't like the non-spicy stuff everywhere else you go, but the Italian food up there is amazing. I follow a guy on Instagram at Parkwood Deli. Do you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah, he's pretty good. I've been there. He's in my travels for work. He's a character, and they make a really good sandwich there.
I want to go there so bad. Next, I'm gonna go. This year we're gonna go to upstate Michigan, as we're going this fall. But me and Michelle will end up in New York probably. I'm assuming in February or March or somewhere. But I'm gonna go there to eat lunch. But his sandwiches. And then you Day goes up there, got shit I never even heard of. He's got stuff at lunch specials. Never heard of that stuff. And I'm thinking, man, I got robbed of my heritage here.
These are my people.
Yeah, my people. And I have never even had some of this stuff. But he's a high energy guy. He's got a great Instagram, yes. Parkwood Deli. I tried to get him on the podcast. He's so busy. I can't get him tied down on it. But man, it's a good looking. A buddy of mine, John O, went there the other day, and he had lunch and talked to him. And he said the sandwich is so big he took it home, and I think he got 2 or 3 meals out of the damn thing.
Yeah, he makes a really, really good sandwich.
And it's so much stuff I never heard of. See, we don't have a good deli here. I love a good sandwich. Philly cheesesteaks, you get a Philadelphia, and then you go to the egg rolls are excellent. But I love the Philly cheesesteak. But I love a good sub sandwich, and you just don't get them in Texas very well because they don't have the oils and stuff or something. It's just not right. So y'all are eating good up there.
When you come in, let me know if you want. We'll do a 3-day deli tour if you want. I'll take you some really good delis. We could do that deli, and then there's a couple more local I could take you to. Man,
I tell you, the people in y'all eat so good. The street food in New York is amazing. I tell you another thing that's amazed me my last 2 times being in New York City is the Halal Brothers chicken. They have lines. Is that all over? Or is that just a Manhattan thing?
They're coming up all over. They're mainly dominant in New York City, but you'll see them in the outer areas of New York City.
Their chicken is really good. I don't know what they do to it, but their chicken is very, very, very good. I saw people standing. They had 3 or 4 stands right by. We stayed at the Midtown Hilton, and they were one of the lines was a city block long. And I thought, God, we got to try it. And we ate it, and it was really good. And I don't know what they do to their chicken, which is different, but it is a really good piece of chicken that they have.
It's all in the seasoning and the technique they cook it. It really is good. I mean, and I haven't had a bad one. The cuts are consistent. You go to one, and if you go one on the other side of town, they're all consistent, which is good.
They're so good. Have you been to Peter Luger's and eaten ever?
Actually, I was just at Peter Luger's a couple weeks back. I took my son there. My oldest son, landed a job in his major, what he does. And we took him there for a little celebration. We went to the one there's several of them. There's one in Long Island, in Great Neck, and then the original one's in Brooklyn. But we went to the one in Brooklyn.
How is it as good as they say it is?
It's good. It really is good. I mean, you get a steak for $2, and it's more the sides than anything. But they dry age their meat. It's good. I mean, like you said earlier, when you put your opinion out there, people want to say something else. Everything's a matter of preference to your taste. But I mean, Peter Luger's it's Peter Luger's. There's a reason why they've been there a long time.
Yeah, I want to go there one time. Their steaks look so good. They have the cream spinach looks good. Everything they have looks good. They got a big old caprese salad or something. But that's one of my bucket list places to eat. Last time we were in New York, we were going to try to go there, and I couldn't get reservations. It was booked up when we were there. But that is a place I want to go.
Because it's like a big tomahawk, isn't it? Isn't that what it is, or is it just a regular?
No. It's a what do you call it?
A New York strip, isn't it?
It's a double cut. It's a porterhouse.
Porterhouse, yes.
Double cut. No tomahawks.
Porterhouse, and it comes out in like the sizzling butter and the whole 9.
Yes.
What sides do they have?
Cut up off the bone. They serve you.
Like what sides do they have that goes with it?
So you got cream of spinach. You got the crispy potatoes. The tomatoes and onions, when you go there, it's beefsteak tomato with an onion that's comparable size to that. They slice it thick. They recommend you put the Peter Luger sauce on there. You cut that up, make a little salad. They got very good lamb chops. If you like, the lamb chops come out very similar cooked on how the steaks are cooked. That's more of an appetizer.
The lamb chops are?
Yeah.
Do you like lamb?
I like lamb. Yeah. I just Memorial Day weekend, I roasted a whole lamb for my son's 21st birthday. We try to at least roast a lamb once a year.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had lamb in my life.
What, really?
I don't think so.
I've done lamb before.
I've had goat and sheep. I wasn't a big fan of either one.
Lamb definitely has a flavor. You know what I mean?
Well, there's nothing you can do with that lamb fat. That's that, you want to call it gamey flavor. But that's what it's got. If you can get past that, and I mean, we marinate it with a lot of citrus, a lot of rosemary, garlic, salt and pepper, and the way we slow roast it on the rotisserie, everything renders out and stuff like that. Then we wound up making like 200 gyros we made.
So he said gyros. Oh, that was hero.
Yes. Gyros.
Okay.
He's Italian. He's
I
not
know
Greek.
that, but that's why I thought I would get a look if I said gyros when I've ordered them.
Well, that's just looking at you because you say something else stupid.
Oh,
I mean, Andy's a person that goes to Philadelphia and doesn't get cheese on his damn Philly cheesesteak.
I did.
He got meat.
I did mess up. Not.
That's all you asked for, or
I got nervous.
Well,
So we went to Pat's, and a school bus pulled up. We were already on a time crunch because we were going to take a train to New York City to finish up the trip. We got to Pat's. The school bus pulled up. He was very rude to the person in front of me. Very, very rude. So it came our turn to order, and you're supposed to get it with whiz. I didn't want a whole bunch of all this other. I don't think I wanted vegetables on it. So yeah, I ended up just getting a meat and bread sandwich because I didn't specify.
did you at least enjoy
I
it?
hated it. I hated every minute of it.
Okay.
Fucking, there were the park that we ate at. There's like pigeons hanging in. I guess people had pigeons in the apartment, so they were outside on a coop and did not feel safe. Got gangbangers eyeballing me and my wife because we've got all of our luggage. We didn't want to leave with the cabbie. It was a horrible experience all the way around. Should have gone to Geno's. They were probably much nicer there.
I had Geno's, and I heard Andy's story, so I thought, I ain't gonna screw. I don't give two shits if anybody gets me. And I walked up and I said, listen, I'm new here, so I'm gonna order it, and this is what I want, and you tell me how I'm supposed to order it. Honey, you just order however you need it. We'll take care of you, just as nice as could be. And I said, I want a Philly cheesesteak with the whiz on it, and I don't want a ton of onions, but I want a little bit of onions on it and the peppers. And she said, yes, sir. And Michelle got what she wanted, told me, and I told him exactly how Michelle wanted it. 100% perfect. Highly recommend going to Geno's. Best Philly cheesesteak I've ever had in my entire life, ever, anywhere I've ever been. And I order them a lot, and it's well worth the hype. And I like Philly. We went to the Easton prison and took a tour of it, looked around everywhere. Thought it was a cool place.
Today's Andy, I would get it like I like it, but I've got a brand new wife at the time. You're supposed to look like you know what you're doing every once in a while. You're on your honeymoon. You got to take the bull by the horns. So I didn't want her to know that I didn't know what I was doing, which I clearly did not, and it showed in the sandwich that we ate. So took a couple bites of it, chunked it, got our cab, went to the train.
I don't blame you, and I've been a witness to see how Pat's operates, so I don't blame you, Andy. No harm, no foul. And again, like I said, when you guys are in East Coast, there's John's Roast Pork that's down there. They got very good roast pork sandwiches, but they do have very good cheesesteaks. And then there's Tony Nick's, which is right over by the arenas where the Eagles play and the Flyers and the Phillies play. Another very, very good place. You go there, they're not going to yell at you. They'll ask you if you're first time here. They'll work with you. They want your business. They want you to enjoy it. They want you to follow them on social media and stuff like that. So, I'll be more than happy to assist you next time.
Yeah, because I don't know what would be worse, me taking a tongue lashing at Pat's for not knowing how to order a cheesesteak or just ordering a fucked up cheesesteak. So I went with what I felt at the time, and that was ordering I just figured cheese would come on the cheesesteak, but whenever I cut the veggies, nothing came on it.
Every time I'm around New York area or something, I contact Andrew about where to go. Anytime. I'm smart.
This is in 2011.
Well, you should have looked around. You should have asked more people. It's not my fault. Can't make you be better than that. So, what is your? You made wine. You send me stuff. You also do a wine. You do tomato sauce. Don't you also make homemade wine?
we make wine. That'll be Columbus weekend.
Yeah,
when
and
we
you do
make
it every
wine.
year because you sent it to me last year. You sent me pictures of it and stuff. How was last year's batch? Good batch? Or do you have to wait 2 or 3 years?
Well, I sent you a batch. I
Michelle
sent you a
drank
bottle.
some. That's right. I don't drink wine. Michelle does.
Okay. I mean, I liked it. It came out really good. It's a 3 grape blend, almost like a Chianti wine. We call it Italian table wine. But I mean, it's the recipe we've been making 20 plus years. So I haven't had a complaint. And if they do complain, I don't think they would tell us
Just drink
anyway.
enough of it. It'll be fine.
You imagine getting lucky enough to marry into this family? Homemade sauce, homemade wine. They cook a whole lamb. I mean, what a cool place to get it. I mean, just such a cool culture, and they do stuff. And so that's the Columbus Day weekend. We're making wine. Is that an Italian tradition up there in New York, or just y'all's family tradition?
No, it's in the neighborhood that I live in. It's 90% Italian. So come garbage day, you could see everybody's got the crates that the wines came, that the grapes came in. Sauce season, everybody's got the crates that the tomatoes came in. So and it's comical. You got people that'll look at other people's garbage because they wanted to see the different blends of grapes that they're using so they can copy their wine.
Oh, okay. So people are cheating a little bit.
Well, that nobody wants to share that recipe.
Right.
Andy. That's what it is. So if a guy's got 20 boxes out there and he's got 8 of these, 8 of these, and 4 of these, now you kind of know the ratio of what he did. The fermentation process is all the same.
Oh, okay.
So how much wine? You're buying 20 crates of grapes?
I buy 20 crates of grapes. We use so the wine that you got was, like I said, was like a Chianti. It was Thompson seedless. It was a Grenache, and it was an Elegante grape. And then the Thompson seedless gives you the sugar and the alcohol content, and then the other 2 are red grapes. One's a red grape with a red inside, gives you the color, and the other one's a red grape with a white inside that gives you the flavor.
Okay. So once you can figure out what people are using, the process is all the same. So you just got to figure out the ingredients.
Process is all the same. You just need their grape ratio, and then you're off to the races.
Now, where did you get this recipe that you use?
This was just a recipe that my one of my uncles had given it to me. That was what they've been making for many years. We've always drank it as kids, and as young adults, we always had it. And then when he had passed, my aunt said, she goes, "This is the recipe." And it was just written down on like a little index card, and that was it. And that's what we've been going with. We tried other, like a Merlot grape, just to make a Merlot wine. We tried a Pinot Grigio, a Pinot Noir, like a single grape blend. And I mean, like I said, those grapes are expensive. Mm-hmm. So if you do like a straight up Merlot, it's like $20 more a crate than what we're buying for the other grapes. That's why you limited the run that you make and stuff like that.
Okay, you buy 20 crates of grapes. How much wine do you get out of something like that?
26 gallons.
26 gallons of wine.
A lot.
So, and how long until the time? I don't know nothing about making wine. How long? But I love history, so I love learning things like this. How long until the time you do this and bottle it till it's drinkable as wine?
So you make it in the fall, like around early October, and it's usually drinkable around the first week of April, around Easter.
6 months.
Yeah.
Now, you can't just go to the grocery store and get like a bundle of grapes and make wine, can you?
Sure you can.
You can, but I mean, you're buying, that little bunch of grapes for like, $2 a pound. We're buying like 38-pound boxes.
Right. But
I go to, there's a place by us called North Shore Wine Grape, and the guy gets them in from California, and they come in and track the trailer loads, and I'll text them or I'll call there. I put my order in, and I want to pick it up Thursday morning. And I'll go there Thursday morning, I'll load the truck up, and we're off to the races.
Okay, I'm going to ask another dumb question. What is the actual process? Because I always grew up hearing about people stomping on grapes to make the wine. I'm assuming you have a grape press or something, right?
Yeah, so we have a grinder. So, obviously you want to go through, make sure there's no mold, there's no bugs and stuff like that. So we go through everything, try to take the leaves and stuff out, and then we run it through a grinder. It doesn't really grind them. It just kind of cracks the grape. And what that does is it just lets some of the juice out and stuff like that. And then we ferment that, 3-5 days. You let that ferment. We put usually like a wet towel over it. It's probably in like a big plastic vat. We put a plastic towel over it so nothing gets in it. And depending on how you want your alcohol content, the longer you go, the stronger the alcohol, the more alcohol you're going to get, the stronger the wine will be. And then you press it. And then we have a 40-pound press. It's a round shape. It's got oak slats, and it's got like little spaces where you could kind of just tip your pinky through, and you put the wine in there, and then it's got a ratchet, and we ratchet it down, and it comes out the bottom, and then you let it. Then when it comes out there, you put it in an airlock system. It's in a it's a 26, I think it's 27 gallons, but we do 26, and then when it cooks up and ferments again, it has a thing on top that almost looks like a trap under your sink, and it fits on there, and we put vodka, any type of alcohol in there, because what it does is it lets the gases out, but it doesn't let air in, because air will make it go bad. It'll turn it to vinegar.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that makes sense. So
you add vodka?
We add vodka just to that little trap.
Just so you got like that P trap that makes it.
Okay.
That exactly.
Do you have to add vodka throughout the year, or will that dry up?
That would make brandy.
No, that'll.
No.
That'll. So once it's done fermenting, then you cap it, you bottle it, and it's done, and then you just let it age.
So
the gases coming out are only for maybe about a week or so.
Now they make brandies made out of wine, right?
I don't know how brandy's made.
I think brandy is wine that has been distilled, maybe. I don't know. I don't know shit about it. That's interesting.
So that's grappa.
Grappa?
We make grappa. So grappa is your grape peels that you pressed. You rehydrate them, and then you get another press out of them, and then you take that juice, and then we run it through like a little. It looks like a still, and then you make grappa. And it's wine moonshine is pretty much what it is. It's rough.
What does it say about brandy?
Modern production methods vary depending on region, but brandy is essentially created by fermenting fruit into wine. The wine is then distilled using low heat, which concentrates the flavors and alcohol. The distillation process can happen multiple times depending on the type of brandy being made. So it acts like it's just like a fruit mash, basically.
It's a grappa, basically, is what that is, I think. But I knew that brandy was made that way. It's crazy. I'm not a big drinker at all, but I love just the thoughts of people making this stuff. And
that's awesome.
The wine you make and the tomato sauce. When I saw you doing all that stuff, I thought, man, I wish I could do something like that. That is a really great tradition and something in education you're teaching your kids and family. Andy, you gonna make some wine?
If you want.
My father-in-law made wine.
Did it come out very good?
It didn't. They weren't impressed. He made a lot of wine too. Like he really, like fucking like 50 bottles or something. Like they went way off into it, and didn't really have the process or the recipe down. This is a long time ago. Like my wife was. She said she was a little girl, and she remembers smashing the grapes. So that was one thing that she did. But he made it. And he wanted to have it for when his daughters got married. So we had wine. We had his wine out here.
I remember that.
It wasn't very good. And he'll admit that it wasn't very good, but that was just one thing that he wanted to do to have at his daughter's wedding. So hats off to him for at least trying.
Someone gave my dad some homemade wine one time when my dad was a fireman, and all I remember was the shit blew up in the closet.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did wrong or something, but it blew up. It was a mess.
So they didn't let the gases out. That's that P-trap system.
Oh, okay.
You got to let all those gases out. If not, it'll get like a hand grenade because the gases will build up and it'll explode.
Now, champagne, what do they do to champagne to make it? Because the champagne and wine are basically the same except for one ingredient, isn't it?
Yeah, so we made champagne a couple of years. So it was white wine, and then we bought these little tablets on Amazon. And you put them in there, and then we bought champagne bottles with the cage, with the cork and everything. And that little tablet, I believe it's like a sugar tablet, it just carbonates it.
And so it makes it sparkling wine is what it does.
That's what makes it sparkling wine, yeah.
Made from grape. Yeah, that's all it is. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it's, I like champagne, though.
What's your favorite meal, Andrew, that you make? Your favorite thing you make? So far right now, I'm with you on either homemade lasagna or pizza. So what's your favorite thing that you make?
My favorite thing that I make was my mother's like go-to dish she made for everything. It's regular. It's breaded and fried chicken cutlets with macaroni and peas on the side. That's my favorite dish. It reminds me of like my mother was in the kitchen, standing next to me.
Macaroni and peas. Now, macaroni and cheese or just a macaroni?
No, macaroni and peas.
Mm-hmm.
Peas.
But there's no cheese on the macaroni. It's tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce. If you make a tomato sauce, you add peas into it. So you saute a little onion, garlic, and some olive oil. You throw your peas in there. You saute that. You add your tomato sauce. You let it cook down. You boil your pasta, and then you just incorporate the two. It's a very simple dish.
So chicken strips and red tomato macaroni cheese, macaroni and peas.
Chicken cutlets. Chicken cutlets. Fried chicken cutlets.
Ain't that the same thing as chicken strips we eat down here, though?
No.
I don't know.
I think it is. It's just sliced chicken breast, isn't it?
Real thin and pounded out, right?
Thin pounded out, yes.
Yeah. That's what Raising Cane's has.
No. Those are little tenders.
Oh, okay.
What's Prosecco? Because I was at an Italian place yesterday, and they had Prosecco on the menu.
Sweet wine.
So if you want to check this out, I think champagne can only come from France.
Mm-hmm.
I think Prosecco comes from Italy.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. That's because my wife drinks that, so I really don't know too much about it. But when you hear them talking about what they're drinking and stuff like that, that's my takeaway I had from it.
So Prosecco is Italian champagne, basically.
Yes.
I thought it was a little sweeter, is what they had said, but I don't. I don't drink some that much. It's kind of like bourbon. You can only make bourbon. Only really can come from Kentucky, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, bourbon can only be made in the United States.
Right.
Like Scotch can only be made, in whatever the hell it's made.
Scotland, and I
don't drink Scotch. So.
I don't understand how people are. You're still not a Scotch drinker, are you, Andy?
No.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea for sure.
But I didn't think I'd ever be a bourbon drinker, and I'm a bourbon drinker now. So I don't. Maybe one day I could try Scotch again. But where I'm at now, no, I'm out on Scotch. Have you been to Italy?
I have. I was there last summer. Actually, we're going back next summer. We're going back.
Is this something that you do often, or was last time the first time?
Was my first time. Was the first time that I went.
What was it like over there? Because I've heard we've got all the preservatives in the food over here. I've heard the wine over there, you don't get hangovers, and the food, you don't feel bloated.
So we did a cruise. We did Italy, Croatia, Greece, mm-hmm. and the food from that whole region, it's clean, it's pure. Everything was just delicious. It really was all natural.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard people will go over there and they'll just eat all these carbs, and they're like, I never felt nasty like I would if I ate that meal over here. And they're like, I ate it all the time. I had wine with everything. I never felt gross or bloated or anything. And it's all the preservatives that we have in it over here. So I've always heard that from people.
100%.
I've always heard that from people over there. I would like to go. Jeff has no interest in going to Italy.
We're putting together a trip next year. If you guys are interested, I'll send you the details.
Don't tell Michelle this, please, because I don't want to go. I love Italian food. I love the history. I would like to go to the countryside of Italy. I would love to see that crap. Not crap. I would love to see that. I don't want to see the crap in Rome. I don't want to be around all the Muslims. I don't want to be around all that crap. I just don't want to do it. The actual countryside, same as France. I have no desire to go to Paris, but I would love to go to Normandy. I would love to go to the back of Paris, through the Swiss Alps, all the way into France. I think that would be a beautiful trip and love to see. I just don't want to see the big cities and what they've become. I don't want to go to big cities in America hardly anymore either. It's the same shit. So that's the reason I do not want to go to Italy. But if you bring this up, Michelle's going to be like, let's go to Italy. I want to go to Scotland is where I want to go, but not for the food.
I'm down with that. I mean, I there's some traveling I want to get. I want to get underway. Scotland's on my list as well.
Yeah, it seems like a beautiful place.
I do want to try haggis over there and see if it's as bad as it sounds like it would have to be, but I would like to try it.
We had it here.
Well, that was canned haggis. That's different.
Oh. Well, I don't know.
That's like eating canned lasagna or canned ravioli. It's not the same.
Well, no, I would agree with that.
No good.
I would agree with that. So, what's the day like? Don't y'all have a day like where you're cooking? Isn't it Sundays? You put on the pasta and everything, or the sauce. Sunday sauce day.
Sunday sauce day. Yes.
And is that something that is going on in the Talamo household?
It has been. I mean, coming off of summer, we really don't cook much. On Sundays in the summer, if we do, maybe grill and stuff like that. But now that we're getting back into the colder months and stuff like that, Sunday sauce day, I have my new batch of sauce. To last me through the cold months.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Sunday sauce day. Regular Sunday, you get up in the morning. I'll make my meatballs. I fry my meatballs. If we put some sausage in there, you put some hot and sweet sausage. You cook them off. You add your sauce with all your spices and all your seasoning and stuff like that. You cook it down for a couple hours, and then I'm telling you right now, I'm not making fresh pasta on Sunday. I buy whatever I buy in the store, pretty much on sale. Barilla is like mainly our go-to pasta, and that's it. Depending on what they're feeling, you feel like spaghetti or you feel like rigatoni. That's what you get.
Is it an all-day adventure for making the sauce day?
On Sunday, I drag it out because that's just like it's been fun memories of doing stuff with my family. So
yeah.
I'll stretch it out a little bit, watching football games and then make this, do that, and then if I get crazy, I'll make Italian cheesecake or something like that. This way we got dessert. So
and
I like to play around in the kitchen.
Does all the family come over on Sundays?
No, I just have my immediate family. I'm the only one that's left on Long Island. Everybody's in Jersey. My other brother's out west, and all my other cousins are either like down in Delaware or up in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the only one that's left here. So, but and any given Sunday, my one son will have 7 kids here. So as much I complain about, I love having the kids around. So
yes.
I like to watch them eat.
Somebody to eat all the food that you're cooking.
Exactly, but good group of kids. They're going to be our future of America. We cut these kids' teeth into hunting. They took it on. They go to the place where we have upstate. They instinctively know what to do. They open a house. They, groom the woods. They check all the, trail cameras and stuff like that. And they have only been at this for a couple of years. You would think they're seasoned veterans the way they conduct themselves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And anything they do in life. So when you find people like that, you're blessed. You want to be around them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, where is your place at upstate?
I'm in Chenango County. I'm like right outside of Binghamton.
How far of a drive is it for you?
From here with no traffic, I'm about 3.5 hours.
That's not terrible then.
No, it's not that bad.
Yeah. No, a nice little getaway too.
It's a nice little getaway. We go up there and we've been up there now since 1990.
Oh.
We had the place.
Now, do you know when traffic's going to be bad, or does traffic just like all of a sudden like, oh shit, it's bad?
It's so, no matter how much the Waze or GPS on your phone, it'll tell you, you look at it, you try to gauge it. I'm like, we'll leave after dinner, we'll this, that, the other thing. And just when you think it's like record-breaking time, you get on one of the bridges here to get off the island, and it's just, like you said, it's like, oh shit. It's like, this sucks.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, we were
exactly.
Last time we were there, Michelle, we drove to see the Amityville Horror House after we left the restaurant with you. Michelle wanted to see the Amityville Horror House, so we drove down in the neighborhood, looked like a bunch of gawkers to see a house that's made up ghost stories about. And then she goes, can we go to Coney Island, look around? I said, Michelle, I don't think you understand. This is the biggest city in the United States, and you don't go from point A to point B like you would Abilene or Wichita Falls and be there in 10 minutes. It's going to take an hour to get to Coney Island.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be another 2 hours to our hotel room. And we didn't even have a hotel. We just were going to drive north as far as we went. And I think we made Terrytown. No, we did. We drove to Terrytown because she wanted to go to Sleepy Hollow. So we did that the next day. But we still haven't made Coney Island, and I would like to see it, but it just wasn't that big. I just didn't think it was that big a deal. I would love to go all the way out and drive all the way out the Hamptons to the end of the island, but you got to turn around and drive all the way back.
That's a drive.
Yes, I bet it is. But I would like to see it. I want to go to Block Island as one of my. Have you been there? That's one of my bucket list places to go to.
I haven't been there.
Well, how far is Amityville out of the city?
Amityville's what, 20 minutes away from you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly 20 minutes.
Oh, that's
no traffic. You can make it there in about 20 minutes. With traffic, it'll take you, 6 weeks.
Yeah, that was me. It took us 20 minutes to get there and 2.5 days to get back. It was terrible.
Oh, I thought Amityville was like out in the country. I didn't realize it was like a suburb of New York City.
You don't even know the difference when you're in Amityville, no different than in Queens or Brooklyn or wherever.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's just part. They're all the same. You can't tell unless if you didn't know where you were at, you're in New York City.
No, I get that now. I thought you had to like leave the city
Oh, no.
and I didn't know where Amityville was.
I'm going to tell you that Terrytown area where, is it the Rockefellers that's buried there, his family estate, or is it a Roosevelt?
Yes.
Rockefeller.
No, Rockefeller.
Man,
Rockefeller.
that is a beautiful area up there, and there's a real fancy restaurant up there on one of his estates that you can go to where it's kind of like you farm fresh type foods that they cook there. Some chefs got it.
Yeah.
But we went to the cemetery in Terrytown. The mausoleums there that those rich guys had is amazing to look at those big places where in the cemetery there. My wife's morbid, I guess, because she loves going to old cemeteries and looking at shit. Takes pictures and crap. And that is a beautiful area, though. It's very peaceful up there.
It's nice up there. So, Andy, when you get off the island, you go up that way. That's when you start heading towards the country, and you're going up to where there's some acreage and stuff like that.
Right. Now, were you in the city on 9/11?
I was not in the city. I was in the Bronx. I mean, I watched it from where I was. I was stuck up there for like 4 hours because I couldn't get back on the island until they opened up the bridges.
What did they do? They just shut all traffic down, or what? Or was it just
everything? Everything got shut down. Everything. They closed all the bridges, all the tunnels. You were stuck where you were stuck. That was it.
Really? And
Yeah.
you were in, you said Queens?
The Bronx.
You were in the
I was
Bronx?
in the Bronx. I was in Hunts Point section. I was working for the day, and we had a clear shot of everything. And we were listening on the radio. At the time, cell phones were like fairly new. You had them, but you didn't have the service like you have today. And they put out the bulletin on the phone. There was no phone service. It was a trying time.
Yeah, scary deal. But you could see that. Could you see the World Trade Center from where you were?
I watched the both of them go down that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Could you hear anything from where you were? Like, could you hear?
No, I was far.
Too far
very
away.
far from that. But where we were, it's all flat, so there's really nothing in the way. You could see the whole city skyline where I was. We were standing on top of some trucks and stuff like that. Everybody stopped work, and everybody was everybody's eyes were focused on and peeled on that. And like I said, it was a scary time.
How did you know that you could get back home when you did? Like, you saw traffic start moving again, or like you were just like, fuck it, I just got to try?
All right, so we started working our way back to the bridge, the guys that I with, because we all lived on the island. And one of the guys got a bulletin on a phone, and let's go. There was no toll. Back then, there was no like Easy Pass. They had it, but they had the toll booths with the arms.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was open, and they just had cops there running everybody through. They wanted you over the bridge as quick as possible.
Did they have like a curfew or anything after 9/11?
Yes,
they did.
Yeah, everything was shut down. Everything was shut down. I tell you, I had friends over the house. We were barbecuing for the next few days and everything, and it was just fighter jets after fighter jets just flying past the house and everything.
Right. What a day. I mean, we talked about it last week, and I remember I was in the 8th grade and I remember everything about it, but I couldn't imagine
being in your backyard.
being in my backyard.
They just had just breaking news I was just reading. They just had a big attack in Lebanon, I believe. 2,700 people injured, 8 people are hurt, but it was people's pagers were blowing up. They said hundreds of them. I didn't even know people had pagers anymore. They said they felt them getting hot and they just started blowing up.
So it's like a safety recall type thing?
I think it's going to be probably Israelis' defense forces probably just did it.
What?
I'm just telling you what the early speculation is. And this shipment of pagers just got to these people like a week ago.
I'm like you, though. Who still has a pager?
I didn't know anybody had a pager. I saw it said by pagers exploding. I was thinking like a page that works like for a court clerk or something. I was like, what the hell is doing this?
I've never had a pager.
Well, I had one back in 1989, maybe 1990. I don't know when.
And it was just a call so-and-so?
It just goes off and it shows you a call so-and-so, and you call it.
Go to the payphone.
Go payphone and call people.
Huh. I thought they quit making those things.
I didn't know they made them either, but 2,700 of them, 2,700 people hurt.
Wow. Huh.
Amos, what are you doing in here? How'd you get in here?
Yeah, get your dog out of here.
That's your mother's dog. But anyways, that was interesting. Yeah, I couldn't imagine living in New York City at that time. We'll go to something a little more good news for a New Yorker. I'm assuming you're a Yankee fan, or are you a Mets fan? Or both?
I'm a Yankee fan.
You're a Yankee fan. Y'all are having a great season this year.
Yes, we are.
Judge looked like he was going to break the Yankee record for home runs, and he's kind of petered out in the last week, hasn't he?
So I don't watch it now because I don't want to jinx them.
Okay.
I just go by. I go by if my son's happy, they're doing well. If my son's, you hear him, letting a few F-bombs out, they're not doing so well.
Well, they are winning this year and doing good. But on the flip side, the New York football teams, I don't think combined rosters together could beat a Texas high school football team that's really good right now. It's got to be depressing to be a New York City football fan the last 10 years.
That's why I'm a Miami fan.
That's got to be depressing too.
Yeah, now Tua's out.
It's very depressing, but in a house full of Met fans, I'm a Yankee fan, and a house full of Jets fans, I'm a Miami fan. So I like to go against the grain.
Tua being out, and they haven't said if he says he's going to come back and play. I have him on my fantasy team.
I doubt it.
I think the best thing for him to do would be to retire.
I believe so. Yeah, he looked like he got rock and roll.
Oh yeah, and it wasn't that big a hit like you have sometimes. I just don't. He's just had so many damn concussions that it's bad.
Yeah.
And, they're terrible.
Who?
Both New York teams. I don't think you could combine. New York Jets and New York Giants are absolutely terrible.
Jets are not terrible.
Yeah, they are too. They have no offensive line at all. They're terrible. Andrew, am I wrong on this? Do the Jets look like they are a playoff team? No.
I haven't watched them yet this season, but going by what my dad says, he says that they suck.
There you go.
Nah.
Suck and bad are the same thing.
You got Rodgers. You got Mr. Rogers there. He'll right the ship.
We'll see.
Now the Giants, I think they're beyond fixing.
They need a quarterback. He's terrible.
I feel bad for him though. Did you see him getting booed when he was walking out? I guess last week. People waited.
No, I didn't.
People waited to just tell him how bad he sucked.
He makes $35 million. You pay me $15 million a year, and you can call me every name in the book. You can call my mom name, my kids' names, your kids, my grandkids. They can call them whatever the hell they want for $15 million. I'd walk around in a jock strap for $15 million off that stadium and get called anything they want to all day long and twice on Sunday.
I guess so.
You wouldn't for $15 million? He's making $35 million.
Oh. You don't feel bad for him?
Fuck no. He's making $35 million a year. No. I feel sorry for the kid that got cut trying to make the team at training camp that busted his ass. It wasn't that good. I feel sorry for that guy.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for a guy making $35 million a year. Tua, I don't feel sorry for him. He's taking care of the rest of his life. I feel sorry for him if he keeps playing football. He should retire for his own long being and health. And it takes someone old like me or you, Andrew, that's older to realize and appreciate what we have now that a young person doesn't realize that. Because right there, they're living in the moment where we're thinking long term because we ain't got a lot of terms left.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, right.
My family's got longevity. Like if I go the average, I'm going to live about 30 more years. And that's a long time. And I would be happy if that happened. But when you're 27 years old and a multi-millionaire like Tua, he's not thinking about being 50 our age and not being able to tie his shoes.
He's not.
And that's what he needs to think about is raising his kids, watching his daughter get married, watching his grandkids go to first day of school and whatever, all the memories in life. And that's what he needs to concentrate on.
Yeah, I guess so.
I agree.
So you said you got goose season up there? You guys are going off into that?
We're going to, like I told you, hunted with you guys the last couple of years. So we did speckles in the morning. We deer hunted in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I know we went out for hogs and predators one night. We really enjoyed ourselves coming out there. But yeah, you guys inspired us. I thought it was a lot more difficult than setting up, just to set up a field. Mm-hmm. We've hunted down in Eastern Shores, Maryland, and they got like 500 decoys that are there. They just drive you out. They drive you to the blind. But how you guys did it, my son and I were talking. I told him the year before he could make it. When he came last year, I explained, and he's like, "Dad, this is doable." Mm-hmm. And like I said, you guys inspired us. The way you threw up them A-frames, we put out the silhouette targets, mm-hmm. and there was mornings it's like we didn't have a sip of coffee and we were limited out.
Right. Yeah, it's totally doable. I mean, Dive Bomb makes the silhouettes, and that makes everything very, very simple because you can have 5 dozen in a bag that don't take up any room. You know what I mean?
No.
You can throw 10 dozen. Yeah. Hell, you can load a back of a pickup truck up with more decoys than what you're going to need. So that couple A-frames and rock and roll, or however you want to do it. Find a weed line and just kneel down if you have to.
Exactly. I mean, like I told you when we first got on, Andy, my son and I were fortunate enough. We got a land lease to do small game. Nothing for no whitetail because the caretaker does that, and we didn't want to interfere with him. We just wanted the guy's got like 200 acres of open fields, and I've been glassing it all summer, and then the last couple of weeks just driving just to take a look. You could see the geese sitting in the back. So I would say next week he's going to probably have a couple of days off. We're going to go up there, and I'll keep you guys posted how we make out.
Yeah. Let me know how you're going to do that. So how are you going to cook these dry aged speckle bellies? Did you say earlier, or did I miss that part?
I did not. So I'm going to be open. You know, like I like to say when these kids come over, I go, it's dealer's choice. How do you want them?
Yeah.
But you know, I find out simple is usually the best way. So I'm probably going to do like maybe like a Montreal steak seasoning or something like that. And I'll try them on a grill like that. I'm not going to get too funky and stuff like that. I think the flavor is going to be in the dry age process that we did.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't want to steal too much of that away. So I figured that if we'll just keep it simple, maybe some salt, pepper, garlic, and stuff like that. Maybe some rosemary, or like I said, I'll just go to store bought. Montreal makes a chicken seasoning, which is pretty good. I like that. I use it on a lot of pheasant and stuff like that.
That's the thing that I'm interested in. I want to know how these speckle bellies turned out dry aging them. And four
I'll
days?
keep you posted.
4 days is what you did?
I did a 4-day. Yeah, I did a 4-day on there. I flipped them every other day. I flipped them around.
Just a labor of love. Everything you do is a labor of love.
Yes.
You guys have got it right up there.
That's the way you're supposed to live life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's too short not to.
100%. 100%.
These are the simple ways that our family live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you got caught up in the fast pace of life, and you overlook these things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that really stands out whenever you're cooking, and whenever you're cooking for family or for friends, is you're getting back to your roots. You're slowing things down a little bit, and enjoying everybody, enjoying your time, enjoying your company, having a nice glass of wine or a beer or whatever you like to drink, but just slowing down a little bit, and that's what's so important.
You appreciate the things that you overlook.
Yeah.
And then, like I tell everybody, I got, my niece and my nephew, they had little kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, enjoy it. I said, because, you turn around and my boys are 24 and 21. I was like, it was a blink of an eye, and they're grown men.
Yeah.
So I'm like, enjoy them when they're little, do what you got to do with them. If they're involved in sports or community activities, support them, and, just be around for them.
Yeah.
Like Jeff said, you want to be around to walk your daughter down the aisle. You want to be around for your son's graduation from college and stuff like that. So these are the simple things that, like I said, I think majority of people overlook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a guy that hunts with us. He was from Louisiana, and Saturday was his day to cook. But he would cook for everybody. He'd cook for his sons and his son's friends, and everybody would come over, and he'd put eyes on them. And if they needed a hug, he'd hug them. If they needed a kick in the ass, he'd kick them in the ass. But just be present with them.
I think it's the same person that we hunt with. That's the gentleman that makes the boudin.
No. This is a different guy.
Different guy.
That guy, the same.
Okay.
Yeah, the same time you're here. Every time that you're here, one of them guys airs that cooks all the time. And
yes.
Mr. Vincent will be here, I think, the same time you're here this year, and he's cooking jambalaya. No, what did he cook last year? Was it etouffee or jambalaya last year? Oh, it was good.
He made jambalaya, and then he made boudin.
Yeah, and his potato salad he makes is the best potato salad I've ever had in my entire life, and I don't know what, I love it. I talked to him on the phone the other day. I was like, listen, I need you to get Michelle that potato salad recipe because I like it. It's not too mustardy. It's not too mayonnaise. It's perfect. He does a good job. Well, Andrew, we appreciate you being on here, and we look forward to seeing you again in November.
They just rang the lunch bell, so we got people coming in.
Yep, the ladies have got lunch going here, and we look forward to seeing you.
We'll be there December, the first week of December with that.
Yes, sir.
The first, I think the second, third, and fourth.
Yes, sir. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll see you then. Thank you. God bless you. And I don't think I'll be in New York between now and then, so that will be the next time I see you. And hope you have a wonderful Columbus Day.
Let us know how those speckle bellies turn out, and shoot them up whenever you.
I definitely will.
All right.
I definitely will.
All right. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you. It's Field to Fork on Instagram.
Field to the Fork.
Field to the Fork on Instagram. Check him out.
It's
there you go.
The little
There you go.
Little deer with his forks in.
There you go.
You can, everybody can watch and see how these speckle bellies turn out. Dry age. That was your last post, I think, if I'm right.
That was my last post. Yeah.
Yep. I'm looking at it now. So.
If you're a foodie, you'll really enjoy his post. Thank you, my friend. We'll see you in a couple months.
See ya.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
I'll speak to you soon.
Bye. Andrew, great guy. Loved it. I love visiting with him. So traditional. And my kids lost out on all that. Your kids are not going to have that. That strong Italian bond. I love that stuff.
Strong Texas bond.
Texas bond. Well, he's Italian, but I like
Well,
that.
I'm Texan.
All right. Well, thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all, and have a great week. Bye.
Columbus Day's coming up, so
Yes, it is.
Wine, we'll be having wine before too long.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Watch for deer. Check out all of our great sponsors. Go check out MLR Graphics, Stanfield Outfitters, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Hemp Hill Farm. Use our promo code BHP. Mallard Bay, Mitch Hall, Double T British Kennels, Lucky Duck, Mossberg, Looking Glass Podcast, Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Bull and Briar, Ducks Unlimited, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, promo code BHP25, and Boss Shot Shells.